It's finally the season for classic holiday movies, cheesy rom-coms, wholesome animated films, and surprisingly also horror movies. But regardless of their different plots and genres, like the holiday itself, many of these films feature memorable food moments. Some that look absolutely delicious and others not so much. So today I thought it would be fun to try a few from my favorite festive movies. So grab a warm drink, cozy up on the couch, and let's begin with my all-time favorite Christmas movie, Elf.
Good. I'm gonna hang up now.
I tuned the piano. Okay, I love you. Bye.
It's this unbelievably funny yet heartwarming comedy that reminds us to hold on to our childlike wonder. So to bring some whimsy and holiday spirit back into my life, let's try Buddy's iconic dessert pasta. So first boil your pasta. And then we're just tossing on lots and lots of different sugary things, of course.
We elves try to stick to the four main food groups: candy, candy canes, candy corns, and syrup.
We've got festive M&ms, specifically the mini ones, and also the mini ones in the tube, because, I don't know, for some reason they just taste better. Mini marshmallows. I've never seen this candy before, but they're called snow caps, which is very fitting for today's video. Lots of chocolate sauce. Can't forget the maple syrup. And last but certainly not least, an entire fudge Pop-Tart crumbled on top of everything. Very beautiful. I kinda liked this. I feel like everyone is slightly exaggerating. I mean, by no means is this great, but it's not that disgusting. I also made this last year for a TikTok, and I don't know, I thoroughly enjoyed it both times I tried it, but maybe that's a me problem and I just don't have a distinguished palate, or this worked and now I'm just in a super holly jolly mood. Either way, this one was lots of fun. Moving on to a pasta dish that you'd actually want to eat, and it's from the quintessential Christmas classic, Home Alone.
Bless this highly nutritious microwavable macaroni and cheese dinner and the people who sold it on sale. Amen.
Even though I didn't watch this movie till I was almost maybe 20, this scene is pure nostalgia. It reminds me of those kid cuisine microwaved meals that we ate as kids. The one with the penguin mascot, I think. But it's so upsetting that Kevin doesn't get to take a single bite of that beautifully plated mac and cheese before all of the chaos ensues. Add salt to your pasta water and cook the noodles for about a minute or two less than what the box says. Use whatever pasta shape you like. I really prefer the swirly kind. To a large skillet, add some salted butter. Melt that over medium heat and let the butter brown. Once it's nice and toasty, whisk in the flour until there's no clumps. Then pour in the milk, followed by the vegetable broth. And let this simmer for a good 2 to 3 minutes, making sure to stir the entire time. Then add the seasonings, that's mustard, a pinch of salt, black pepper, and a few dashes of paprika as well. And since we're trying to recreate frozen microwavable mac and cheese, which has more of a goopy sauce than a stringy sauce, if that makes sense, I'm adding 3 different cheeses, some cheddar for color and gooiness, and cream cheese and boursin for extra velvety richness. This combination tastes so good and gives us that kind of artificial microwaved mac and cheese look. Then yeah, just mix the noodles into the sauce and plate it up.
Okay.
This tastes like childhood on a plate. And as a kid, my favorite thing to make for myself was mac and cheese topped with crushed potato chips. And during Kevin's junk food rampage earlier in the movie, we see a bag of crunch tater chips sitting next to him. So for a bit of nostalgia, crunch, and overall added junkiness, I had to crush some on top of the mac and cheese. Highly recommend, although my favorite combo has to be hot Cheeto fries on top of boxed Kraft instant mac and cheese. So good. Now this next movie I strongly believe should be categorized into that Christmas horror movie genre. The whole thing is just so unsettling, and the only redeeming factor in my book is the fact that Hero Boy, or the main boy in the movie, is played in part by my childhood celebrity crush, Josh Hutcherson, aka Peeta Mellark in The Hunger Games. I loved this man. But I guess another could be this hot chocolate scene. I will say that the song is super catchy and the hot chocolate does look really tasty. To a small saucepan, add the cocoa powder, sugar, and a pinch of salt. Next in is some milk. Bring this up to medium heat and let this simmer on low. Meanwhile, in the background here, I'm mixing together a bit of cornstarch and milk. And this concoction is going to help make our hot chocolate super thick and creamy like it looks in the movie. But yeah, add some chocolate chunks and vanilla paste and stir until it's fully melted. And that's it. In the movie, they seem to enjoy this as is, but I personally feel like hot chocolate is incomplete without loads and loads of whipped cream on top, so just quickly throwing some together here. And yeah, just made myself a cup in my festive penguin glass. It's so cute. I actually shattered this in my sink right after filming this, so quite sad, actually. Yeah. But this recipe is so decadent. It's basically like drinking a cup of straight melted chocolate, in the best way possible, of course. Alright, this next one is none other than the Christmas rom-com. It's Love Actually. It's a bit more chaotic and unconventional compared to the light and fluffy Hallmark movies we all love to binge nowadays. And even if you've never seen it before, you've probably at least seen this iconic scene. On the surface, this seems super romantic, right? But their entire storyline is honestly so creepy. It's by far my least favorite, but I do love that in it, Keira Knightley tries to use banoffee pie as a bribe, which would 100% have worked on me because 1, she's the Keira Knightley. What a goddess, first of all. And 2, this might be the single tastiest pie that I've ever made, and I take my pies very seriously. Okay, let's start with the crust. Typically, this is made with graham crackers, but I thought Biscoff cookies would be a little more fun and festive, so I crushed up a bunch of those with a rolling pin. Pour that into a bowl along with some brown sugar and melted butter, and mix everything until it sort of resembles wet sand. Dump this into your pie dish and press the crumbs together to form the crust. and we want to bake this for at least 15 minutes at 350 degrees to kind of set the crust. So while that sets and cools, we can prepare our fillings. I believe you can actually buy the dulce de leche pre-made, but I had several hours to kill while I watched the movie, so it was just a matter of letting cans of condensed milk simmer for a very long time. I think this was 3 hours, and once they're completely cooled, you're basically left with this beautiful concoction. Okay, once you have that first layer, grab and cut up 3 bananas. Add those to the pie. And finally whip up some sweetened vanilla whipped cream. Give this at least 3 hours in the fridge to set up before cutting into it. I know that this doesn't look the prettiest, but I loved it so much. It's just the perfect mix of that crunchy spiced crust with gooey caramel and the freshness from the bananas and the pillowy soft cream all around it. Oh, bonus recipe! If you have any leftover slices, mash them up and pop that into the freezer and you get this amazing banoffee ice cream, which I do think is better than the pie itself. Overall, I'm just obsessed with this one. For our final movie, let's revisit another classic.
I am starving. Huh? Max, what is this depressing bean? No. That's impossible. You can't be out of food. What? Where's my personal reserve of moose juice and goose juice? My emergency stash of hoo hash? And my secret slew of frozen hazelnut stew? I specifically bought enough food to last until January. How much emotional eating have I been doing?
To be completely honest, I haven't watched any of the Grinch movies. The 2000 live action with Jim Carrey just freaked me out so much as a kid, but since I'm an adult now and I should probably face my fears, I think I'll give them a shot this year. In the Grinch universe, there's a Christmas delicacy called hoo hash, which is some sort of canned, preserved meat and vegetable product. Doesn't sound very nice, so this recipe is actually inspired by the one they serve at the Green Eggs and Ham Cafe at Universal Studios. Instead of canned potato chunks, I'm assuming, this version has a base of tater tots, so I just tossed a good amount into the air fryer to crisp up. And instead of corned beef, which I've actually never heard of before this, I grabbed a can of Spam and chopped that up into tiny pieces along with some onion as well. I know not everybody loves Spam, but I really enjoy it, and it's especially good when it's slightly fried and it gets super crispy around the edges. So if you're not frying your Spam, try that. And everything is getting smothered in cheese sauce. This first version I tried turned out really lumpy and thin at the same time, somehow, but I ended up modifying the cheese recipe from the Home Alone mac and cheese sauce, and it turned out so much better, which you'll see in a bit. But I was stressing out and didn't film it, so I'll leave the recipe in the description. But yeah, you can serve this up on a plate, just layer everything on top of each other. Very self-explanatory, I guess. Or to make things a little more fun, you can serve it in the can like they do in the movie. I just emptied a few bean cans, washed them up, and replaced the labels with the iconic Who Hash labels, and they turned out so cute, and I just love the little added bit of festivity that it brought to the dish. And this was just so indulgent. I simply love a loaded potato dish. Yeah, this was super junky, but also so tasty. That's everything I have for you today. I'm so sorry if you could hear me start to lose my voice near the end, but as always, thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope you're having a wonderfully cozy holiday season, and I'd also love to know what your favorite Christmas movies are. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Also, happy holidays. Bye.